Continuing with our discussion, I have to look into the control strategies now, how it's possible to control the motor and how it's possible to control the speed of the motor, how it's possible to control the motor in different operating regions. So one control involves the four quadrant operation of the DC motor. So using a rectifier, as I have already discussed, if we take a full wave rectifier, it's a full wave rectifier, whether it's a three-phase rectifier or a single-phase rectifier. Uh, the thing is that thyristor is a unidirectional device, so the current flowing in a thyristor, it's not possible for the current to flow in this direction in this circuitry. Since a thyristor is a unidirectional device, it will not allow the current. It will not allow the current to flow in the negative direction. Only uh, it's only possible for the current in this circuit to flow unidirectionally, that's in this direction. Now whether it's a single phase thyristor based rectifier or a three phase thyristor based rectifier, uh, the current direction is unidirectional, the current is unidirectional. So while as the voltage appearing across the load, it can be positive as well as negative depending upon the value of firing angle. So our voltage can be positive or negative. For alpha less than 90 degrees, it will be positive, and average voltage will be positive, and for an alpha greater than 90 degrees, the average voltage will be negative. So accordingly, we can have a two quadrant operation with a normal thyristor based rectifier. Current is unidirectional. Current can only be positive in the circuit, while as voltage can be either positive or negative. So using this, we can make sure that uh, our thyristor works in either the first quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. In the first quadrant, our speed is clockwise, while as in case of the fourth quadrant, the speed will be anti-clockwise. Now, is it possible then for us to have a four quadrant operation using a thyristor based rectifier? Well, we can make some tweaks in the circuitry so that we can let the current to flow in both directions. We can let the current to flow uh, in this direction as well as in this direction. Now, how that is possible? We can use with other switches. This is more efficient, say for example, with an IGBT or with a MOSFET. Uh, but it's possible to also use a diode in parallel with a thyristor such that uh, and the diode will normally be reverse biased and it will not be conducting. But if our EMF voltage E is greater, we somehow make the load voltage greater than the source voltage. In that scenario, the diode will be forward biased, the thyristor will be reverse biased, and since the in that case, diode will allow the current to flow in the reverse direction as well. So we can, by making this arrangement, we can make sure that we can operate the diode for negative currents as well. We can make the rectifier operate for negative currents as well. Right? So for a normal single phase or a normal three-phase thyristor-based rectifier, thyristors will allow only uh, unidirectional flow of current. the current will not flow in the reverse direction in a thyristor. Uh, so we can achieve only the first quadrant and the fourth quadrant operation, where in the first quadrant the speed will be clockwise, while as in the fourth quadrant the speed will be anti-clockwise. But in both these two quadrants, the torque will be positive, that is clockwise. Whereas now what we are doing is we are making an arrangement wherein we can, with any other switch, a MOSFET or an IGBT or even the thyristor, we can use a diode in parallel for bidirectional flow of current. But this has to be uh, the diode itself will only be forward biased when the load voltage will be greater than the source voltage. That means the voltage E, if it is greater than the source voltage, at that time the diode will be forward biased and the thyristor will be reverse biased. Only then will this diode let the current flow into the source. Say for example, we have an arrangement like this. So the current will flow into the source from the load. Normally, the condition is that when V is greater than EMF E, the current is flowing through the thyristor once we are triggering the thyristor circuitry. Normal direction of current is like this, but in case we make E greater than V and we are providing an arrangement for uh, bidirectional flow of current through diodes by placing the diodes uh, in parallel with the thyristors, but in an opposite direction, we can let the current flow to the source. This will help us. This will help us obtain. This will actually let us capture the energy while breaking the system, while making sure that we want to actually reduce the speed of the system. We can capture the energy and let it flow back into the source. That can be one arrangement, or another arrangement can simply be placing a diode. This can be a freewheeling diode in parallel with the. This can be a freewheeling diode. The normal direction of freewheeling diode can normally, when you have studied uh, freewheeling diode, you might have placed the freewheeling diode like this across the load. But in this case, we are deliberately putting it in this direction so that E will let the current to flow across this freewheeling diode in this manner. Fine. So this is also an arrangement that is possible for the current to flow in the negative direction through the load. Uh, but in this case, the energy will not be flowing back to the source. The energy will be dissipating through only the R and L of the motor. For energy to be captured back by the source, we'll have to make an arrangement like this. There is possible. So, as I was saying to you, we can make some tweaks in a single phase rectifier or a three-phase rectifier or a thyristor-based rectifier, so that we can obtain a four-quadrant operation. The What we are doing is either place the diodes in parallel with each individual thyristor, so that the energy flow is back to the source, or make use of a freewheeling diode that will allow the current to flow across from the EMF E, that will let the current to flow through R and L while keeping the thyristors reverse biased. So we can make use of these arrangements. We can make use of these arrangements for second and third quadrant operation as well. We are already having the first and fourth quadrant operation in a normal uh, So for full four quadrant operation, you might have studied dual converters. So in case of a dual converter, what we do is we make use of one. This is actually a bridge rectifier. Uh, there is an AC voltage Vs supplied to this bridge rectifier. We have the load, and that is the motor RLE load here, and we are connecting it across. So we are making use of two rectifiers feeding the same load. So in this case, what we do is that we use a firing angle alpha 1 and a firing angle alpha 2 for these two uh, different devices. Uh, Also, we can make use of uh, smoothing reactors here so that we can allow uh, the direction, so we can actually filter out the current flowing through the circuitry. So looking at one circuit at a time, uh, we can obtain. So if we take this circuit, the current can flow in this direction, while as the voltage output across this can be either positive or negative. So voltage can be positive or negative. That's easily possible by keeping alpha 1 less than 90 degrees or alpha 1 greater than 90 degrees. And we will have a current, will only have a positive value of current using this rectifier. So we can make the motor run in first and fourth quadrant. So without now tweaking, without necessarily making the back EMF now equal to greater than the supply voltage, what we can do is using this rectifier, we can let the current to flow in the system in this direction. So again, voltage output across this can be positive or negative. For this, voltage was positive for alpha less than 90 degrees, and alpha for alpha greater than 90 degrees, voltage was negative. But for this rectifier, the case will be different. The voltage will be positive with respect to the reference value for alpha greater than 90 degrees. Rather, I'll say alpha 2 greater than 90 degrees, and it will be negative for alpha 2 less than 90 degrees, while as the current will only be negative in this case, irrespective of the firing angle. So with a positive voltage and with a negative voltage and a negative current, what we are doing is that we can make the motor operate in the second and third quadrant as well. So the only thing here is that you have to choose the firing angles alpha 1 for the first converter. It can be either less than 90 or greater than 90 for first quadrant and fourth quadrant operation respectively. And for the second rectifier, we have to choose alpha 2 greater than 90 or less than 90 for second and third quadrant operations respectively. There are other conditions to a dual converter wherein we actually have alpha 1 plus alpha 2, a relationship between alpha 1 and alpha 2 that will allow us for a better control, a better power factor arrangement. So to obtain a four quadrant operation, a fully functional four quadrant operation using two converters, using two rectifiers feeding the same load, but these two rectifiers are actually anti-parallel to each other. So next issue that we actually encounter with thyristor based rectifiers is the is the issue of power factor. So normally, one of the there's actually a drawback with power electronic devices in general, that the power factor uh, will be low. I'm talking about the power factor of the supply. Our supply in this case is an AC waveform that's actually feeding the rectifier. That's actually driving our load now. So talking about this supply, what we see is that the power factor in the supply voltage, supply current will be very low, and particularly as the speed of operation decreases, we have a wide control over the speed in case of DC motor drives. So the lower the speed, uh, this power factor will even deteriorate further. This is a supply voltage, phase voltage. Uh, because of the firing angle, what happens is our current will start operating delayed. There will be a delay in the rise of current. This is our supply current. Supply की जो volt current होगी, that will actually follow the load current, but the load current will be DC in nature. Supply current will be AC in nature. अगर हम इसी सर्किट की बात करें तो लोड वोल्टेज कुछ ऐसे होगी. The load voltage profile will be something like this. While as the current voltage for a continuous conduction mode, it will be something like this. Fine. For a CCM, current is like this. The load current. This is the load current, and this is the load voltage. Supply voltage, supply current will actually follow the load current. So यहाँ से यहाँ तक जब तक आपका thyristor, say for example, there will be some negative spikes as well, because this is a 1 minute. Talking about thyristor based rectifier, so लोड वोल्टेज कुछ ऐसे होगी. Earlier waveform I had drawn, that was for a diode bridge rectifier. So for a thyristor based rectifier, the load voltage will be something like this. Current will be rising in the positive half cycle and it will be falling in the negative half cycle. Rising, जब आपका डिस्चार्ज होगा इंडक्टर, उस टाइम पे करंट डिक्रीज होगी, but the current is more or less continuous in nature, and जितना ज़्यादा आपका इंडक्टर होगा उतनी ज़्यादा ये डीसी वेवफॉर्म की तरह शेप लेगा. So based upon this, load current will be something like this. So from alpha degrees onwards up to this point, the load current will be following this profile, rise and then fall. उसके बाद rise, fall, fine. उसके बाद rise, fall. So the supply current will be a replica of the load current. Only difference is that ये जो negative region है, जिस time पे thyristors, say for example इस time पे forward biased T1 and T2 हैं, इस time पे आपके जो thyristors forward biased है, they are T3 and T4. During this period, negative voltage is impressed across the thyristors. So current in the source is itself AC, but current in the load is always DC. Current in the load is unidirectional, और करंट ऑफ द सोर्स इज बाई डायरेक्शनल, वो पॉजिटिव भी हो रही है नेगेटिव भी हो रही है, तो आपकी जो वोल्ट करंट का प्रोफाइल है वो कुछ ऐसे दिखेगा आपको. फाइन. सो देयर इज अ डिले ऑफ अल्फा डिग्रीज इनहेरेंट. एक तो इनहेरेंट डिले है, दूसरा जो आपकी करंट है दैट्स आल्सो डिस्टॉर्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ the nature of current is also distorted. It's more like a square waveform. It's not. It will consist of a number of हारमोनिक्स. इसमें खाली पॉजिटिव, इसमें थर्ड फिफ्थ हारमोनिक्स सारे हारमोनिक्स होंगे. अगर थ्री फेज कन्वर्टर है देन ट्रिपल हारमोनिक्स विल बी एब्सेंट, बट दे विल बी अ, इसका जो THD होगा दैट विल बी वेरी पुअर. सो जो आपका डिस्टॉर्शन पावर फैक्टर है, इसमें डिस्टॉर्शन फैक्टर है वो भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. कॉज ऑफ अल्फा डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द फायरिंग एंगल that will increase or decrease. So in short, our power factor with the thyristor based rectifier is poor, and that actually affects our source voltage and source current. So more or less, you can see the source current is rectangular. So इसकी जो, if we can calculate, if you have already seen the THG analysis, you have done the Fourier analysis of this current, you can see all harmonics, the third, the fifth, the seventh harmonics will be present in this supply current. So the power factor of the supply current is poor. The THD, the harmonics in the power factor, they are also poor. So once that is one drawback that is associated with the rectifier, thyristor-based rectifiers feeding the RLE load. So while it's not 100% possible to improve the power factor or THD of this supply current, but what we can do is we can try and keep the firing angle constant. We can try and make use of uh, high frequency switch. High frequency switch say instead of using thyristors we can use high frequency switch like MOSFETs, IGBTs. उनमें ये advantage है कि at higher frequency the filter circuit requirement will be of smaller size. क्योंकि आपका thyristor based rectifier है, thyristors they are operating at normal 50 hertz frequency. सो इस टाइम पे अगर हम फिल्टर डिज़ाइन करेंगे फॉर improvement of the harmonic component, what we'll see is that our filter size will be very large. So with thyristors, filter का जो size है that is very large because it's operating at the normal fundamental frequency of 50 hertz, while as high frequency switch like IGBTs, MOSFETs, extra, they are operating at higher frequencies, so the filter size is small. Fine. So we cannot make any adjustment in the power electronic circuitry. We cannot change the firing angle necessarily. We can make wide range of control चाहिए. So we cannot change the firing angle. But what we can do is while designing the circuitry, we can make use of high frequency switch for designing rectifiers. So this is something that is inherent in a power electronic device. The power factor and the THD of the supply will reduce. So there are some remedies like using high frequency switch, uh, also making use of uh, three phase converters more often. Fine. So you can make use of three phase converters. You can make use of high frequency switch. And You can also limit the range of firing angle. While this may not be actually always feasible or possible, we can try and achieve this also. We can try and limit the range of firing angle control. We can uh, try and जितना ज़्यादा हो सके उतना कम फायरिंग एंगल को चेंज करते रहेंगे. We can keep the firing angle constant for wider range of operation. So there are there are issues with power factor and THD of rectifier fed DC motor drive. But we can use three phase converters. Three phase converters में जो एडवांटेज ये है कि आपके जो ट्रिपल हार्मोनिक्स होंगे वो एब्सेंट होंगे. And with high frequency switch, what we can do is we can make use of smaller sized filters so that we can remove the harmonics in the supply current. Also, we can make use of reactance at the supply side to improve the profile of current. Fine. So this is about some distortions in this is the issue of power factor and THD that we have discussed. And there is